Okay, day 73, no Eric Braverman yet. This is part two. This is really a follow-up to a radio show I did called The Jeff Rense Show. So if you haven't seen it, check him out. He's a pretty insightful guy. And the discussion last night on the show went into if Hillary has used the Clinton Foundation before to hire and train gangs and arm them with Stinger missiles to topple Assad to get his money, and with sarin gas armed that same tribe, Muslim Brotherhood, in 32 countries with sarin gas and used that on Assad, then would she do it again for Mexico and or the United States? Could she use, let's say, La Raza, which is kind of the political arm of Sinaloa in the U.S., to arm gangs in sanctuary cities and use either sarin gas on those cities or use the Stinger missiles against commercial airplane traffic? And if you look at the players involved, it's the same players. Mark Turi also involved in with the gun running in Fast and Furious. So the operational planning, I'm sure there's a military component to that. If you look at the George Soros type organizations like La Raza or Move On or other ones, he uses Otpor almost everywhere to topple, to train ISIS. We've got reports that ISIS is training in Mexico. So we see here that it's not only civil disobedience, but it's also these 10% are gladios. There's 10% that are hiding amongst the 90% of peaceful people, just thinking they're doing the right thing. So why not? I'll even go as far as sarin gas and show where that's been used before. So if you haven't seen the series before, I would go back to about day 60. If you're just coming in from the Jeff Rense Show, and it's really about following the oil, and there you're gonna follow the arms, which I call a rat line. You're also going to see children being secreted away to Middle Eastern countries, and then you're also going to see this sarin gas being used. So where has this happened before? Well, here's Tokyo, 1995 sarin gas attack on the subway. Not sure how. The sad thing about the CIA sometimes is they come up with a new technology in the science and technology division, and then they feel like they have to try it out in reality. So a Stinger missile, some people have talked about the Long Island shoot down of the jet. People have talked about this. It just kind of, I know it sounds sick, but it's almost like the nuclear testing the CIA did on soldiers to look at the effectiveness of the nuclear weapons or biological weapons. The history just keeps repeating itself. So, and here's Fast and Furious right here. So here's the guy who did it. Here's the folks that look the other way, the State Department tracking the weapons. So now ATF was used as well, so that's not in the play here. I don't know how much FBI counterterrorism was involved. I doubt much at all. But I'm just saying that if you're willing to use sarin gas on children in Aleppo, then if you thought that you were firing sarin gas into a city of deplorables, would that stop you? At what point would you draw the line if you did 52 gas attacks with ISIS in Syria? So I don't know if you remember previous shows I did, but Fast and Furious was really all about breaking down 13 or 14 different cartels and getting one dominant cartel, which is Sinaloa. And that was through having everybody shoot each other, basically, with this Fast and Furious program. That enabled sweeping, that got a lot of regional politicians out of the way and allowed for sweeping reforma energética here. So it broke up the Mexican nationalized oil company and allowed KKNR to sell these oil leases off the Gulf of Mexico. So that's what that was all about. So if you watch this show, you're going to see this going over and over. Follow the money, which is what Eric Braverman's advice was. Here, KKNR and Venado are making a partnership, oil partnership down here to swap our really good oil for their not so good oil. They have high sulfur content in their oil, so that's what an oil swap is. So what will that look like? I mean, like I said before, there's nothing to stop Hillary from having Sid pick up the phone, call General Grange, get the Delta Force, take out certain locations and create sanctuary cities within the United States. Now, I doubt that would happen very much, but you could do this. You could do political assassination, for instance, for mayors who didn't want to have sanctuary cities or any kind of resistance. Like if there was any kind of citizen resistance, you could use a force like this to corral them and then, hit them with whatever. So I'm just saying this is a possibility. If you have people that are doing this already, again, not just weapons, but sarin gas and stingers, and they've shown this in the past. This is kind of like, the gang that robbed the bank, and then there's another bank. You just have to take appropriate precautions now that you've seen the modus operandi. So, and it's all the same group. Kadzik was the one who did he's doing the cover-up of the Huma server. He's also doing the cover-up of the Hillary server. He did cover-up of IRS, and he did cover-up of Fast and Furious. So all the same kind of stonewalling, not turning over documents, happened with the DOJ and FBI in that one as well, and ATF, mostly ATF, not so much FBI, but it's the same crew. It's an oil play as well. So I look at Haiti, and I think what their strategy is in Haiti is, well, if we just forget about it, people will forget about it like they forgot about Fast and Furious. So they'll forget about Monica Peterson. They'll forget about Silsby down here. They'll forget about the Haiti and only 2% or 10% getting the money getting through. They'll forget about the oil contracts and so forth. And so I think that's the strategy, is just stonewall until everybody kind of just forgets about it. Well, I'm going to keep doing the series, so there's only one way to end that one. And, again, stonewall, on everything. Just if you wait long enough and you put out ridiculous timelines and say, well, for the 650,000 emails, it's going to take us 5 years, maybe they'll get away with it. I think I have a way of showing how they might not get away with it. If you remember this government ethics thing that was going to go away last night, why did the Republican senators want this ethics thing to go away? Well, they've done all these deals in Ukraine and, Libya. Here's Lindsey Graham. Here's this Biden's son in Ukraine going for this gas here. And they wanted to get rid of this because they don't want this coming up with a Trump administration, with new senators or new folks coming into this administration. So what does Trump do? One tweet, and it's back and it's reinstated. My theory is, if Trump tweets one time, the word is, who is Eric Braverman? Or has anybody seen Eric Braverman? Or I'd like to do a press conference with Eric Braverman. Or anything with the words Eric Braverman, immediately it'll shine the light. So if I was you, if you have any, tweet Trump and just say, hey, we really want to get to the bottom of this. We just want you to say, where is he? And then I guarantee you, if just one tweet, it would totally put a pinhole through this whole artificial wall that we've got, and it would collapse immediately. So that's it for today. Thanks.